My name is Heather. I'm from northeast part of China. I'm studying Master of Professional Accounting at Cdu. I remember the day that we boarded the flight. It was Sunday. All Cdu staff, especially global staff, they all stand by to try to make everything just goes as smooth as possible. My parents was, of course, a bit worried about the safety issue, but after they witnessed how much effort the Cdu put into this program, they were really surprised by how everything was well organized and well prepared. When the plane landed, I saw those amazing Cdu staff wearing uniform, waving the banners and saying, "Oh, welcome, welcome home." I just feel like the sense of belongings, feel like home. During quarantine, we also receive a daily phone call from Cdu staff to check our mental health and physical health. And we get to swim like every other day. And we have big balcony that we can sit on and talk to our neighbors, and lots of like good food and yummy meals. The Cdu staff are quite proud of this, the first time ever the charter flight in Australia. So we're proud of ourselves to being part of the history as well. I'm so looking forward to get my course started, and also to dive into the local culture. And also I'm looking forward to meeting out new people. Just so excited to start my new life in Darwin in the Northern Territory.
We can't manage work like this. That's why I use Monday.com. My team.
I chose Cdu because it offered a wide range of benefits for international students. A close friend of mine actually recommended Cdu because it had gained quite a bit of reputation locally and internationally. I was looking for the diversified and supporting environment that Cdu offered to all students from all over the world. And also being close to home is definitely a winning factor.
My name is John. Currently, I'm studying civil engineering at University. Actually, I'm from Hubei province. It's pretty much at the middle of China. My relative is here. She told me there's a Chales Darwin University. If you want to promote yourself, you can come over, have a look. Nice people and multicultural here attracts me a lot. First, it's a challenge for me because I had a lot of working experience, and plus I ran my own business in China already, and I sacrificed everything. I think it's worth it because it's never too be old to learn anything. I know my English not good enough, and especially on writing. And most of the time I went to see the library, and they check your language, your words, writing. The lecture here is very professional. They gonna use very simple idea and to explain very difficult questions, which makes your life easier. They also have industry experience, so they'll tell you how industry looks like. This may help you for the future work. My plan is stay in Darwin first and try to find a job here. If I can find a stable job after that, I might have further education to have my master's degree.
Darwin ini.
I grew up in a small village in the city called Zibo, which is located in the middle of Shandong province. And I went to my college in another city in China, which is exactly the place where Confucius was born. I came to Australia because of working holiday visa, and I was wondering what course should I study, because I'm gay, so I'm a minority people compared to heterosexual people. That makes me to focus on more minority groups. That is the reason I chose social work. Studying CDU, I think there are not so many students, so you can actually get more chance to interact with your lecturers, and your lecturers will be always there to help you. English is my second language, but luckily we have the ALSP support team, which there will be teacher to guide you how to write academically. And we also have the equity service. It's especially when you don't have a really good mood, you can talk to them. It's a free counseling service. Serena Beach is really beautiful. The good thing is it's so close to CDU, so you can see the beautiful Timothy, and there's a cafe there. Sometimes I will ask my friends out, have coffee and talk about nonsense to clear stress and to re-energize, refresh yourself a little bit. I actually went to Litchfield twice. It was for the first time for me to swim in the natural settings, and it was really beautiful. I need to find a job to support my life here. It's a front desk role to the library, so I help students or staff here in terms of the borrowing, returning, to help them to find information. And all the colleagues are nice and supportive. I really appreciate and grateful.
English is my second language. As a vlogger, I deal with social media a lot, which is actually fun for me, but I will say sometimes it's challenging. For my social
My name is Huijiao Vicky Liu. I was born in a small city called Wuzhou in China, Guangxi province. I came to Australia in 2014 for Bachelor of Arts with honors. After completing it, I came to Darwin to study postgraduate accounting degree with CDU. Well, actually, I have no idea where should I live in Darwin, so I just searched online in the CDU website, and then I found there's a place called International House. And then found out that actually it is a branch of CDU, so it made me feel I want to live there, then I can make lots of friends from different places. Yeah, I think it would be cool. CDU has a smaller size of classroom compared to other big universities, so each of students actually can get more attention from the lecturers and tutors, and then it might help for your future career as well. I have lots of fantastic opportunities as a CDU student. The most exciting one was I was being selected as one of the international students representing Northern Territory to attend the Council of International Students in Perth, and then I would like to come back to Darwin and help the international students here. Darwin is a city that is easy to go around, so you can hire a bike and then you can ride a bike to go to work, and then you can go to the Kashina Square to grab some grocery and a water pool because it's not a big city. I feel that Darwin people here are so friendly and then connected. I really enjoy working in CDU Global because it's really related to my bachelor degree, and then I like to engage with people, I like to talk to people, and then my colleagues, they're really friendly and supportive. I really enjoy living in Darwin now, and then I feel that there's a heaps of opportunity, so I would like to find a job here and then go back to the local community and then keep contributing to it.
Hello, good afternoon. So thanks for attending our virtual BADA education fair. So we are very happy to meet you from various countries, Thailand, Laos, Indonesia, Philippines, and Vietnam. So we are going to start our first session. And so the first speaker is Randy from Charles Darwin University. So Randy, can you speak?
Okay, thanks, Chris. So my name is Randy. I'm from Charles Darwin University, as was introduced by Chris, and it's really nice to meet all of you here in BADA Education Virtual Expo. And hopefully you have a good weekend, enjoying your weekend. And of course, with this event, you've got a productive weekend. Okay, Chris, shall I start? Okay, sure. I will share my screen. I will mostly use PowerPoints for this presentation. Hopefully you'll find the information that you need in my slideshow. Hold on one second. All right, guys. So again, good afternoon. I will introduce myself once again. My name is Randy Palevi. Simply call me Randy. I'm the interim of regional manager of Southeast Asia here in CDU. And I believe you are all here from coming from different countries in Southeast Asia, from Indonesia, Laos, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines. I'm originally from Indonesia, so pretty much I know a little bit about Southeast Asia itself and how we behave as Southeast Asians. In today's presentation, I will present for sure about CDU, about the courses that we have, about the scholarships, about the opportunities that you can do while you graduate from CDU. Also, a little bit updates from the Australian government about the new post-study work visa that they just managed to decide like a year ago. Okay, right. So I will tell a little bit more about the city where CDU is located. As the name is Charles Darwin University. Charles Darwin is actually as one of the most famous scientists who has a theory of evolution by natural selection. But the city itself is actually featured in the university's name, Darwin. So Darwin is the city where CDU main campus is located, and Darwin is actually the northernmost city in Australia. I mean, maybe you have been aware of that. Australia has a lot of and various states and territories. Darwin itself is located in the northern territory of Australia. And because it's the closest city to Asia, especially in this case to Indonesia, that's why Darwin is commonly referred to as Australia's gateway to Asia. The city is not big for sure, and it's not that very, very small as well. But the city is actually quite okay, and then also has 160,000 populations currently living in the city, coming from 60 different nationalities, which means you will not only engage with the locals, but also other people from other countries as well, and 70 different ethnic backgrounds. So that's why the city itself is inclusive, diverse, and the people are friendly. So you don't need to worry when you come to Darwin. In general, the people there are friendly with the foreigners. And because it's not a big city, it's not a major city. Like for example, in Australia, the major cities are Brisbane, Melbourne, and also Sydney. And the living cost itself is not as expensive as those cities. Even it is can be said that it's affordable compared to those cities. And there are a lot of opportunities as well for you to have your employment later on once you graduate from CDU, or during your study to have a part-time job here in Darwin. Okay, this is the questions I commonly asked to me about the COVID-19 cases in the Northern Territory. Okay, this is the latest update that I've got. As of 25 August 2021, there's been 201 confirmed cases with 200 people recovered, but now it's 201 people recovered. And currently we have 0 active local cases. During the border closure since March 2020 to date, in Darwin, we had only 8 days of lockdown in total. So we had our lockdown in June. It was like 5 days of lockdown. And then we had our lockdown again in, if I'm mistaken, it's like July or August. It's around only 3 days of lockdown. But now everything is back to normal. Mask is not mandatory, but only recommended. And yep, even the people in Darwin, in CDU itself, we don't really experience working from home, like only during those 8 days. But the rest of that, we work from the office as usual. And as per November 2020, in terms of unemployment, Northern Territory or NT is currently ranked number 2, the lowest unemployment in Australia. We only 1 level behind the Australian Capital Territory as per November 2020. And this is the one that I mentioned to you, the new temporary graduate visa. Maybe I cannot speak too much about this because again, I'm from the university, not from the migration office. But in general, to give you a little bit of idea is now the Australian government, they divide the cities and regional centers in Australia into three different categories. The first one is major cities, which includes Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. Category 2 are cities and major regional centers, which include Perth, Adelaide, Gold Coast, and other cities and regional centers that I mentioned there on the slideshow. And category 3 is other regional centers and other regional areas, which include Darwin itself. So what is the implication of this kind of territory and also centers dividing from the Australian government? First is about your post-study work visa. Maybe you have been aware of that. Once you graduate from Australia, if you get your bachelor's degree or master's degree, for example, you will get the 2 year of post-study working visa. It will be maybe for a year if you're taking your PhD. But for bachelor and master in general, it will be 2 years of post-study working visa. But if you study in category 1 and your post-study working visa is about to expire, you cannot extend that unless maybe you can have a Australian working visa, for example, if you want to stay longer in Australia. And if you study in category 2, you can extend your post-study work visa for up to 1 year. But if you study in category 3, including in CDU, you can extend your post-study working visa for up to 2 years. So in total, you can get 4 years of post-study working visa. Okay. If you want to know more about this, I put the link down below, and you can learn more about this type of post-study work visa on the link. Okay, this is just a little bit of statistics of the international student employment in the NT, or Northern Territory. Normally, our students in CDU, especially international students, they also work while they study. For example, according to Deloitte report in 2018, on average, 72% of students in the NT work while they study, and the average they work around 17 hours per week. And the salaries itself, by average, are 24 AUD per hour on weekdays, 26 AUD per hour on Saturdays, and 29 AUD per hour on Sundays. For sure, it can be vary. It depends on where you work and what type of job you are doing, okay? And this is a little bit of CDU's achievements. So we're ranked nationally number 2 as Australian University for graduate jobs and pay, which means that our graduates is considered highly paid in Australia compared to other university graduates. And we are the first university in Australia to welcome back offshore international students during the border closure. How did we do that? I will tell you the next slides. And then, because of this pandemic, everything switched to online. Your learning itself, maybe if you are still in high school or university right now, you are experiencing online learning. Even this event is supposed to be maybe a physical event, but now this event needs to be conducted online because of this pandemic. However, CDU, even before the pandemic, we have been conducting online learnings, and we have provided many kinds of online courses for students who need to undertake their study online. So online learning is not something new for CDU, and we are considered as one of the leaders in online course delivery. And in 2017, 2018, and 2019, CDU is nominated as Northern Territory Training Provider of the Year. And this because one of our excellence programs in FET, or vocational education trainings. And actually, even though our main campus is in Darwin, we have more than one campuses in Darwin itself, and we have other campuses in other cities. In Darwin, we have 3 different campuses. Our main campus is in Casuarina, but we also have our campus in Waterfront and also Palmerston, mostly for business programs. You will take your study in Waterfront, and for FET, you will take your study in Palmerston. And in Alice Springs are for our all-FET programs. So there's the bachelor, master, or PhD. In Sydney is for our nursing program. And then this is a quick stats about CDU students. We currently have 20,650 students studying at CDU in the various campuses, with more than 1,900 of those are international students coming from 69 different countries, including those from Southeast Asia, from Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand, and so on. And we have in total 83,700 alumni from CDU, with 1,200 of those are international students alumni was currently studying or maybe working in Australia or outside Australia. And this is a bit of our online learning process. Maybe I will not talk much about this because I'm sure that you are aware and you have experienced yourself about online learning. But what makes it different? So in CDU, we use what we call LearnLine as a platform for online learning. And then in that platform, you can have your lectures, you can submit your assignments, you can discuss with your friends, you can discuss with your lecturers as well. And so that's one platform for everything. Pretty much, we still keep the class small, even though it's an online learning. So you can still interact with your friends or with your fellow classmates during the study, even though it's online. And you can still interact with your lecturers as well, because in Australia, discussion during the classroom, brainstorming, question and answers are essential parts of our education system. And for sure, we don't only give you that LearnLine thing, but we also give you other platforms to support your online learning if you need to start your study online, assuming the border is still closed, like for example, Education Perfect and Microsoft 365. And we still give you a full access to our online library for you to access the books that we have, the international journals and everything, okay? All right, so I mentioned to you in the previous slide that we managed to bring back our international students, and we are the first Australian university who bring back the international students during the COVID-19 pandemic, when the Australian border was still closed. So exactly, it was on 13 November 2020, where we had our charter flight project. So we brought our students from Vietnam, China, Indonesia, Japan, and Hong Kong to come back to Darwin. And now they are learning just normally in the classroom. So there were 63 students in total who participated in this program from FAT, undergrad, postgrad, and also PhD. So maybe these pictures will give you a little bit of idea about what it look like. So this is when the plane landed in the Darwin International Airport, where we, the CDU staff, just welcome the students, waving banners, and said like, "Welcome back, welcome to Darwin. We miss you so much, and hopefully you will be able to start your class as normal and as soon as possible." So these are the students when the plane landed, and for sure, once they landed in Australia, they couldn't directly get into their accommodation, but instead they needed to have a 2-week quarantine at a time. And they had a quarantine in Howard Springs. Howard Springs is the COVID-19 facilities owned by the NT government. And luckily, all the students were tested negative after the quarantine. So they're released from the quarantine. And then now they are learning in the classroom as usual. And the quarantine itself was covered by CDU, so the student didn't have to worry about how expensive the quarantine cost was in Australia. Actually, I had played a video about this in the beginning of before this presentation, but perhaps some of you had not seen it yet. So I will play once again the video, and hopefully we'll get the idea about what the charter flight was like.
My name is Heather. I'm from northeast part of China. I'm studying Master of Professional Accounting at CDU. I remember the day that we boarded the flight. It was Sunday. All CDU staff, especially global staff, they all stand by to try to make everything just goes as smooth as possible. My parents was, of course, a bit worried about the safety issue, but after they witnessed how much effort the CDU put into this program, they were really surprised by how everything was well organized and well prepared. When plane landed, I saw those amazing Cdu staff wearing uniform, waving the banners and saying, "Oh, welcome, welcome home." I just feel like the sense of belongings, feel like home. During quarantine, we also receive a daily phone call from Cdu staff to check our mental health and physical health. And we get to swim like every other day. And we have big balcony that we can sit on and talk to our neighbors, and lots of like good food and yummy meals. The Cdu staff are quite proud of this, the first time ever the charter flight in Australia. So we're proud of ourselves to being part of the history as well. I'm so looking forward to get my course started and also to dive into the local culture. And also I'm looking forward to meeting out new people. Just so excited to start my new life in Darwin in the Northern Territory.
Yep, so that's a little bit of the video about our child flight project, and it was a history in Australian education. And you can see even the news are featured everywhere in ABC News, in CNN, and many other medias in Australia, because we're the first university in Australia who made this kind of project and managed to bring back our international students from offshore coming to Darwin. We are actually preparing for our Child Flight 2022, assuming the border is still closed, but we of course hope that the border will be open in 2022. But now the approach is a little bit different. The previous project was initiated and led by Cdu directly, but now it has to be led and managed directly and arranged by the NT government. Luckily, our NT government has submitted the proposal to our Australian government, and we're currently still waiting for further updates from the Australian government about the proposal for Child Flight Project 2022, and hopefully it's happening. And these are our courses. We have faculties as most of universities, but we don't call our faculties as faculties. We call them colleges or college. We have College of Business and Law, College of Engineering and IT, and Environmental Sciences, College of Education, Indigenous Futures, Arts and Society, College of Health and Human Sciences, and College of Nursing and Midwifery. We also have our FEP programs here at CDU. There are quite a lot of programs that we have, more than 100 programs, but I can't really mention them one by one. So I will only feature some of the programs that currently considered as a favorite by the international students from all over the world, including Southeast Asia. For example, for our Business and Accounting program, for undergrad, we have our Bachelor of Accounting, Bachelor of Business. We also have our Bachelor of Digital Enterprise that I don't mention there. And for postgrad, we have our MBA program. We have our new MBA program now, MBA in Sustainable Leadership and MBA in Sustainable Enterprise. I will talk more about this later if there is a question about this. But in total, normally, our MBA, especially with the professional practice one and our Master of Professional Accounting with professional practice that you can see on the slide, include 300 hours of internship. And the internship itself is mandatory for the program that includes professional practice. Most of our programs in business also include optional internship if you think it is necessary for you to have an internship during your study. And we have our engineering and science program. For example, we have our Bachelor of Software Engineering, Computer Science, Bachelor of IT as well. And we have our master's program that currently gaining more popularity. For example, Master of Data Science, Master of IT and Cybersecurity, Information System and Data Sciences, and Software Engineering. We also have our Bachelor of Engineering program that you can choose one of those, one of the majors that we offer inside the program. For example, we have our civil and construction major. We have our electric and electronic engineering major. So in this program, you can choose one of the majors that we provide. And also, that's the same case with our Bachelor of Science program. There are several majors inside the programs that you can choose only one of the majors, okay? And we have our indigenous features and society, and we have our Bachelor of Arts with many majors inside that. Maybe most majors are inside this program. For example, society and culture, architectural design, creative and digital arts, and many others. And we have our Bachelor of Humanitarian Aid and Development, which includes 400-hour professional placement or internship. And we have our Master of Arts, Master of Public Policy, and Master of Emergency and Disaster Management. We have our nursing and midwifery program as well. Like for example, with our Bachelor of Nursing, Bachelor of Midwifery, and Master of Nursing pre-registration. For education program, we have our Bachelor of Education and Master of Teaching, with primary focuses are in the early childhood and teaching, primary and secondary education. And this is the right program for you who aim to be a teacher once you graduate from CDU. And for our IT program, this maybe that I didn't mention in my previous slide, that it is already accredited and a member of Australian Computer Society. And you can also have a chance to have an industry certification during your bachelor or master study from Microsoft or from Cisco. So this is going to be a good one if you aim to have to be an IT expert or IT professional once you graduate from CDU. And these are some of our industry partners. Of course, I can't mention one by one here because there's a lot of industry partners that we have. But just to give you an idea, we have partners with private companies like IBM and AC. We also have partnerships with NGO. We have also partnerships with NT government and Australian government as well, and many others. And these are some of our FED programs, but I can only mention the one in hospitality and cookery for now, because again, there's a lot, and I can really mention one by one. And you can also take the programs, the courses in packages. For example, you can package the certificate 3 of a commercial cookery with diploma of hospitality management, or even you can start with certificate 3 and commercial cookery and end up with Bachelor of Business, for example. Okay. And we come to the next section, which is our scholarship that are commonly asked again by the students, especially from Southeast Asia. We do offer scholarships, and this is one of the example of one of our students from the Philippines who received our CDU Global Excellence Scholarship in 2020. And what are the scholarships that we have? The newest one that we just had is Online Learning International Student Scholarship. So because of this kind of pandemic and the border in Australia is still closed, many of our international students, they're still studying online in their home country, including in Indonesia, Vietnam, and other countries in Southeast Asia. So now for the students that need to commence their study online in their home country, not inside Australia, of course, but in their home country, they are eligible for a 25% automatic scholarship. This is for the first year of their study, and with possibility to extend to the second year, assuming the border is still closed. And again, this is an automatic scholarship for every international students who need to commence online in their home country, and there is no application needed for this scholarship, so it will be included in your in your course application later on. And there are several types of scholarship that we have as well, from VCIHAS, CDU Global Excellence, Global Leaders, and every scholarship has different criteria and has different process for you to apply. If you want to know more about our scholarship, I put the link down below. You can simply screenshot the slide, and then after that you can go to the link, and then you can see a lot of scholarships that we offer in CDU. And this is the steps. These are the steps that you need to do if you want to apply. Normally we have 8 steps, but if you want it more simple for you, or maybe you want it more easier, simply just come to BADA Education and ask the counselor in BADA to help you to submit your applications, and they will gladly help you starting from the very beginning to make your application, submit your application, until later on, once you need to come to Australia to also assist you with visa applications. So you don't need to do this all by yourself. Just come to BADA Education and they will help you with no fee at all, which means it's free for you, okay? And there is also no application fee to apply to CDU because we just want to make it easy for international students to apply and just not to make them with financial burden just because of the application fee thing that we have. Now, we don't have application fee, so it's 100% free to apply to CDU, and you can start applying stuff from now to start in 2022. Okay, these are the entry requirements for Southeast Asian countries. Not all countries that I can mention here, but in general, for our undergrad, as long as your high school diploma is considered equal with our AQF of our Australian qualification framework, you can be admitted to our program. This is for Indonesia. We accept SMA, senior high school, with minimum average 75%, and then for postgrad, at least you need to complete your bachelor's degree or diploma 4. And also for English itself, we accept IELTS, TOEFL, IBT, and because of this pandemic, we also we also accept some other qualifications as well. For example, IELTS indicator, TOEFL IBT Home Edition, and Duolingo. But this is just because of the pandemic. Without this pandemic, we wouldn't be able to accept these new qualifications. For Malaysia, for undergrad, if you are from UEC or Unified Examination Center, minimum 2A or 2B. If you are from STPM, minimum grade 2 out of 4, or a completion or STPM may meet the English requirement as well. And also, if you are from A-level or IB, it's actually the same for all over the world and only for Malaysia, as long as you take your high school in A-level or in IB. Normally, in A-level, score based on 3 A-level or combination of A-level and AS level subjects. For IB itself, completed IB diploma with minimum 24 points from 6 subjects and 1 sitting. Okay. For a postgrad, it's the same. As long as you complete your bachelor's degree in Malaysia, it's going to be eligible for you to continue master's degree here in CDU. From the Philippines, at least you need to complete 1 year of bachelor's degree there in your home country. Then after that, you can transfer to CDU, especially if you want to transfer to the second year. That's going to be possible as well, assuming that we can waive some of the credits that you can that you take during your bachelor study in the Philippines. Or alternatively, you can register to our CDUIC or CDU International College in foundation or diploma program. And after that, after you finish the program, you can progress to our bachelor courses in CDU. For postgrad, a completion of bachelor's degree in the Philippines will suffice for you to apply to CDU master's program. And this is also one of the information that commonly asked by the Philippines. So we can waive IELTS test as long as your high school and also your university can give you a letter stating that the English is the only medium of instructions in your institutions. And from Thailand, for successful completion of Maya Tom 6 with GPA 3.0 or better, or successful completion of 1 year bachelor's degree at the recognized university there in Thailand will suffice you to register to our undergraduate courses. For postgrad, section 1, minimum 4 years, or 120 credits minimum, or a minimum 4 years with 120 up to 150 credits, and final grade must be 3.0 or above. For Vietnam, successful completion of Bang, I don't know how to spell it, but Bang Tot Nye Po Tuong Trung Ho, is it correct? Okay. With minimum average of 75% in 4 subjects, or at least successful completion of 1 year of bachelor's degree at a recognized university. For a postgrad, for section 1 generally requires successful completion of bachelor's degree, and for section 2 successful completion of a master's degree. If you're confused what section 1 and section 2 is actually we differentiate the universities in those countries based on their quality, and I think your country will also know that which universities are considered the first universities, the first grade universities, and the second grade, third grade university, etc. Sorry. All right. Okay. We during your study, you can also access our student support services, which includes personal support, academic support, international student support for free. For example, for our personal support, if you feel like a bit stressful about the study, about maybe your part-time job and everything, you can consult directly with our psychologist there for mental health counseling. And it is very important that if you feel that you're not doing well enough, you are not in a well condition in terms of mental health, you can simply come to our personal support officer and consult directly with them about your current mental health situation. For academic support, there are quite a lot of types of support that we offer as well, including our academic language and learning success program. This program is especially for international students who are struggling with their English academic writing because academic writing in English is actually different than the casual writing like email writing or mail letter writing, etc. And you can consult with our expert for academic language, especially for English academic writing. And if you need to have a consultation about your visas, about your insurance and everything, you can simply contact our international student support officers. And these support are actually free for our students, so you don't need to pay anything. And you can make as many appointments as possible. We do have our on-campus accommodations. We currently have our IHD or International House Darwin and Unilodge Darwin. The IHD is only 2 minutes away from our main campus in Casuarina, which includes free Wi-Fi, pool and covered barbecue and everything. In Unilodge Darwin, it's actually 10 minutes walk to our main campus in Casuarina, but you feel a little bit lazy to walk, you can simply take a bus in front of the for the Lodge Darwin, because it's really nearby the Casuarina bus interchange. This is just the estimated living cost this is for weekly nor monthly living cost in Darwin. Again, this is just the estimated calculation, and it can be vary for every person depending on your choices and your lifestyle as well. In general, it is always more affordable if you stay in our on-campus accommodation compared to staying outside of campus accommodation, because normally the campus accommodation includes everything that you need, except for your food. But you can cook food in our in the shared kitchen that we have in our on-campus accommodation. For example, if you stay in IHD, the renting price is from 175 AUD up to 227 AUD per week, which includes, as I said, everything: gas, electricity, water, and we don't require you to also to pay an establishment cost. And for food and groceries, it depends on your food choices, but normally it will be much cheaper if you cook instead of cooking outside. Normally, students will spend 80 to 200 AUD per week for their food. For public transport, it's really cheap. It's only 7 AUD per week, which is only 1 AUD per day. And then for entertainment itself, it again depends on the lifestyle. Well, there's no big malls here at CDU. Maybe big malls are mostly exist in Asian countries like in Indonesia, in Thailand, in China, but not really exist in Australia. But we have malls for sure, but not that big. I mean, not as big as the malls in Asian countries. And then normally our students in CDU, they prefer to go to the beach, or they go to the cafes, or maybe to the movies for the entertainment. And normally they will spend 40 to 60 AUD per week, which make up only 202 up to 494 AUD per week, compared to 497 up to 1,367 AUD per week if you stay outside of our on-campus accommodation. But it's not mandatory for you to stay in our on-campus accommodation. You can choose to stay anywhere you want. Okay, so if you want to know more about CDU, you can go to our YouTube channel, Chales University, and these are some. I also put some links if you want to see the image gallery of CDU buildings, facilities, and everything, and student stories as well. And for sure, if you later on feel the need to talk directly to me, just come to the booth, to my booth here in BADA Education Expo, and we can chat in more detail about what you need, about the program and everything. And if after this expo, you still need to have like a one-on-one consultation with me, feel free to contact BADA Education, and they will arrange a meeting with between you and also myself. Okay, that's pretty much the end of my presentation. Thanks so much, and have a good weekend.